My name is Rhapsody. Welcome back to Monster Train. We're going to be going random, rank 23. Heavy enemies have more health. We need to focus on that as being a problem that we need to fix more heavily because in last run, two big dudes just ruined our life. Hello Drippings, 2 Razor Sharp Edges and a Votivary in the base deck. Not super enthused about anything there. Friendly units gain Extinguish, apply 5 armor to the front friendly unit. Well, I guess the Votivary is now 5 armor to the front friendly unit, as well as a chump block. I guess that's not awful. It's not great, though. Extinguish, apply 5 armor to the front friendly unit. Harvest for 5. I don't know about that. Maybe I just go for the reform. If we had Umbra as well, I would definitely be super jazzed about this start, right? Because we'd have Mold Braces, which would be a bunch of armor on the front unit every turn, as well as the Harvest Rectiflicker. Effectively, we would just get a ridiculous amount of HP and armor on them. And then work from there. Okay, so we're just accepting a decent amount of damage if we take this. I'm okay with that. Because we'll still have to set up on the bottom floor. Okay. Let's go back to Drag. So we'll take 9 damage to these and then 4 damage there. So it's 13 damage overall in order to get the 75 gold. Super okay with that. Razor Sharp Edge can be used for the kill there. Unfortunately, we can't remove that extra 5, so we are going to take 2 more damage here. But this bottom line should be good enough for the kill. And indeed is. Great. Yeah, those dregs reforming enough times, as well as having the Hello Drippings there, is super useful. Purifying Cleanse, Wicklash, and Molten Encasement. Do I want any of those? Do I want Wicklash? Is Wicklash good? Not really. Wicklash is like a bad Razor Sharp Edge because I actually don't want to extend their burnout timers. I want them to die repeatedly so I can reform them repeatedly. I kind of don't want any of these. Although, hang on. Remnant banner next to a Merchant of Steel. I'll take the Purifying Cleanse just in case we end up with a frontliner that is going to want that. Glimmer is just a pretty good pickup right now because we don't really have much reach. Lady of the Reformed here is why I picked up the Purifying Cleanse just in case we get it. We didn't, but we did get Lady of the House. I mean, with the Rectiflicker Reform, I just take a bunch of units that have burnout, right? You know what? Votivary gets the large stone as well as the spikes. Give burnout to a dreg just for a little bit extra power there. Because the Votivary is endless. Every single turn I get to play that. Enemies enter with armor 10, that's okay. Even if they manage to get past us, this doesn't cause us to take much damage. We should still set up on the bottom floor, though. The Restore actually also incants the Overcharged, so I don't need to do that right now. Should have put the lady of the house on the top floor as it turns out here. Dang. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna use Glimmer to get rid of the 2 units there. Do I still put the Vote of Rio down on the bottom line? Yeah, I think that's still a good play. Yeah, I just pop both of the hallowed drippings there and that's enough for the kill. Great. We need to draw that Votivary earlier, but because it's not considered a banner unit, we don't draw it in the opening hand. Or the second hand. Again, no. Because those were basically the same options as what we were given before. Steel Enhancer, I mean, we can totally just put that on a unit and then have that unit reform a bunch of times. Sure. Lady the Reformed. Rejuvenators gain 2 spikes. Which I think is the apply to yourself keyword. So this is not enhanced by spikes, which means that... Well, I mean, nothing is enhanced by spikes because spikes is a buff. Lady the Reformed. Do I want to start that second line already? I think I do. So the Lady of the Reformed is the unit behind which I put the units that I think are now big enough. Is there anything in the deck that I want to dupe right now? Second Votivary? No, I'm fine. Spikes on Lady of the Reformed is actually really good as well. But that Votivary should be set up on the bottom line relatively consistently. We should be okay. I don't think I'm going to reroll here, though. Husk Hermit with Quick? See, the thing is, the Votivary is supposed to be my Husk Hermit, effectively. It's just, it doesn't get priority draw. I think I'm gonna pass. Let's see what we've got in Concealed Caverns. Oh, Dante? Dante being reformed would be really good. I also have Razor Sharp Edges and Steel Enhancers, which make Dante really good as well. I'm gonna take it. I don't know if we can use it, though. The candles could end up killing us in the next fight. Save some money so we can upgrade Dante later, I guess. Where would Dante even be able to be healthy enough, though? Set up on these floors, use Razor Sharp Edge to kill. I don't think I need that. Yay! Votivary turned up. Beautiful. That's exactly when I wanted it. As much as I want to put out the Lady of the Reformed, I don't think I need it right now, and I think I do need to save the health by not having those Dante's candles go off. Okay. That's 12, 32, 31, so we still die. Great. So now we get the Lady of the House reformed. Votivary has to be... No, it can't even be set up on the bottom line. I guess the Votivary has to be set up on the top line now. Because the Clergymen are going to go straight past it. I want things to burn out in that middle line, so I'm not using Purifying Cleanse. Okay. I mean, if we're just gonna draw Glimmer, it's gonna make everything a lot easier. Unit goes up to the top floor with 1 health is super damn tragic right there. Very hopeful that next turn I start to draw some hallowed drippings. Come on. Don't really get much of a choice as to what I do there. Yeah, okay, this is really rough. Yeah, this just scales way too slowly. Big problem this has. Alright. Let's try the next one then. Yeah, I think the build just scaled way too slow to really do too much there. I also think the Votivary is an interesting thing to do, but it's also not great because I gave it so much health that it never died, and then it was just taking up 2 spaces to do very, very, very little. Alright, so we need more scaling. That is another thing as well, like Daedalus is considered like a very big boss this high rather in the Covenant levels. Because if you don't have your scaling by then, it just stops you dead. So probably not spikes deal an extra damage per stack. Yeah, first time an enemy unit dies, add 2 morsels to hand. So we have a lot of morsel generation in here. The Mind Collapses are morsel generation by killing a unit. The Cannibalize is obviously morsel generation by killing one of my own units. Gorge looks pretty good. Architect is... I've had more appreciation for Architect recently, but I do like the idea of going for the Gorge here. Because Restoration Detonation is also a decent amount of damage to the front line. On a big Gorge unit. Non-boss enemies gain 4 extra damage. This really actually shouldn't threaten us even slightly. 1, 2, let's play a Shade Splitter on the bottom floor, and then Mind Collapse to get 2 more. Play them on the top. Hey. Damn it. Well, I was never going to be able to get that collector here, so it's fine. Okay. Well, missed the restore. Accidental false cast right there. If I want to save myself 6 damage, I can use the Mind Collapse right now. But unless I get the Mind Collapse in the next hand, that Discipled Foot Soldier is going to deal 9 damage to us, so I think I actually go for that. Like 1, 2, 3. Kill you. Damage. And the damage pickup there on the top line effectively prepares us better for the Forged Disciple next. Great. So we took 6 damage in order to do all of this? Yeah, extremely worth, I think. So we're doing serious business on that midline even. Without even getting the Penumbra involved. Beautiful. It scaled quite well there. We actually have like enough morsels for this to be a thing. Perils of Production, Forever Consumed, and Immortal Trade. We can use Perils of Production very easily for extra energy every single turn, so I'm just going to take that. Glimmer, Sharpen, Vine Grasp. Putting a single Sharpen on like on the Penumbra or something like that saves us from a lot of chump units. It's kind of the AoE that Glimmer is also offering to us right now, though. I'll take it, though, because I don't have to have it on the right turn. Well, there's an allied construct. I could probably support 2 Gorge floors. Yeah. Yeah, I think I can do that. So spell upgrades right now would be Perils of Production gets holdover, lower the cost to give holdover to cannibalize, increase the damage of the mind collapses, decrease the cost of sharpen. And there's an Umbra unit over there as well. Umbra unit could be a shroud for adding extra gorge triggers onto the alloyed construct. Because while we do have like a decent amount of shades, we don't have a ridiculous amount, so... Merchant of Magic, it's obviously just upgrade the alloyed construct, right? But the Umbra unit isn't useful. Sorry, the Awoken unit isn't as useful. Well, that's disappointing. I guess I just don't play the alloyed construct for a while. Okay. We'll go with the Overgorger. We're going to be looking to give it quick, I guess. At the start of battle, enemy units appear on each floor. Especially with a Conduit Infiltrator, that's really, really hard to do. Because unless I get Sharpen in the opening hand, we have a really bad time. I'm okay with that. What do we have in the next area? We have a Merchant of Steel and a Merchant of Magic with an Umbra banner. I'm not going to go to the Merchant of Magic Umbra banner. I'm probably going to go to the Pyro Remains as well as the Merchant of Steel. I'm going to need money to work. Yeah, I need money for the upgrades. The Overgorger is very, very, very hungry for a good upgrade. As well as for morsels. I'd love to be able to play the Overgorger right now. Can I? I can, actually. There we go. Health blocks 2 attacks there. Great. Then we'll go also minor because you care about your stats. Magma, perils. So let's give you thorns so that you actually kill those enemies. And then I think chump block for the alloyed construct on the bottom floor. Just get it out of the deck, basically. Yeah, that lifesteal change to the Penumbra was so good. 2. Should definitely be health and health related things on that floor, I think. Let's pop you down there. Go for a heal on you. Make sure you don't jump up a bunch of floors instantly. Okay, decent amount of gorges. I really wish that I could mind collapse after using the restoration detonation. Unfortunately, I can't. Things that don't attack need to go there. Let's go. Shade Splitter, blow that up. Alright. We should be pretty comfy now. 9 damage there? 11 damage. Worth, I think. Pretty worth. Space Prism, extremely big for this kind of a run. Steel Enhancer, Sting, Glimmer. Probably none of those, though. We do need a little bit more direct damage, but Sting hitting the front line and Glimmer hitting the back line for little damage doesn't really appeal to me that much. Well, I mean, multi-strike on the Overgorger is obvious. I could give it health so it stands up a little bit better by itself. I like that. I like that a lot. Also, giving it a second upgrade right now is really good, because if I go to the Concealed Caverns and this offers another upgrade, I might use it. Yeah, I definitely don't want a bunch more Overgorgers in the deck, thank you. Copy a card 5 times could be Space Prism, but then I don't actually have enough things to put down. Especially because these are all Gorge units, so they all have to go on different floors. The Alloyed Construct is no longer really part of this run. The Overgorger is just a way better Alloyed Construct for us right now. I might end up removing the Alloyed Construct, actually, right after this. I think I might get a second copy of Cannibalize. Yeah. It's just a good card. Just a good card. I don't want to draw Allied Construct as my banner unit on the first turn, so I'm going to get rid of it. Okay, this is not never mind, we have Daedalus up next. I thought we had Daedalus in the next fight after this. I think we have enough scaling to take out Daedalus. I think we can be okay. I am very worried, though. Damage one's the least necessary, so eat that. We should get more lifesteal on the midliner, I think. Okay. Definitely give you thorns, and make sure that we don't hit any other incant triggers. Great. Health is most important. So you want damage and lifesteal, you want health. So Shade Split there for a little bit extra damage, as well as the ability to pop down that final morsel. Okay. This definitely ought to have scaled enough, right? Awesome. Daedalus has got to be coming in the next turn. Yeah, there we go. Just starting to get a feel for that, rather than actually knowing the amounts it takes in order to get things like that to happen. Okay. Take the super easy kill. Guess Magma Morsel is probably the one I care the least about, so we'll sacrifice that. I'm definitely going for capacity as well after this. Feels like that should be pretty clear. I don't think I start duping the Overgorger yet, but maybe I do. Might just be underestimating that. Cool. Cool. I constantly want them to grow, and I never really think about, okay, now it's grown enough, what do I do with it now? That's a problem I encounter constantly. Furnace Tap obviously gets huge later on. Yeah, it's too good. Honestly, I wouldn't be entirely against having a Shadoweater bottom line. As a way to clear out chumps. Because that would actually guaranteed constantly trigger my Shade Lamp. Actually kind of okay with that. Definitely capacity though. Next one after this is probably draw, if I had to guess. Artifact as well as 2 removal. There's so many cards I want to remove from this deck. Volatile Gauge? It draws 3 extra cards a turn is the thing. You have to think about that when you're thinking about the value it provides. It helps us do our setup a lot faster. We would be able to take very expensive morsel generation. I think we take it. It's not great right now, but gosh, does it have promise. Things like the perils of production are significantly weaker now, as you might imagine. But also because we've got a 3-floor plan, the train stewards are complete garbage. Okay, we'll go for Glutton 2 over the Architect 1 right there. If there was the Trample, I would have considered it. I don't know if I would have done it. Probably not. But I definitely would have thought about it. We're going to need a lot of lifesteal if we're putting the... Yeah, Overgorger on the top floor. And we are. Overgorger, Shadoweater. Umbra. Who needs the extra capacity? Definitely not the bottom floor. So I guess it's the top. I love the idea of using the Furnace Tap. Just can't, though. Costs us way too much HP right now. Never mind. I think I can't avoid doing it. Just health on the bottom line is all we need there. And then I do want extra stats on the Penumbra so that its multi-strike is actually not going to waste constantly here. Do I want that more than buffing the Overgorger though? Probably not. For 2 more Ember Drain, I can get the ability to cast 1 thing this turn. Oh, fine, thank you. Looks like I'm losing the Penumbra this turn, probably. Or not. It's definitely Rubble Morsel followed by Cannibalize. It's just where we put any of these morsels. I kind of want them all on the top floor. But this Penumbra only has Ember Drain 2 now. Fine. We'll do a kind of midline option here. Doing half of each. God, that Ember Drain is so rough. I need to give that Permafrost so I can just cast it at the end of a combat. Save us a damage shield to do that. Oh, what? Spell shield blocks that attack? I thought... Huh. I didn't think spell shield would be able to absorb the damage spell because I'm casting it on the Overgorger and it's just happening to affect the front line. Oh, well. A little bit not how I thought that one was going to go down, but it's okay. Let's go Rubble Morsel. I will enrage it and then sacrifice it. I found no lifesteal is the big problem that I keep running into. I would very much like some lifesteal game. I did mention that I am entirely reliant on it. Thought that was a little bit of a hint to you, game, but apparently not. Oh god, really? Alright. Mind collapse. Mind collapse. Restoration detonation, we can actually get some damage there. Thank heck we got good rolls on the cost in that final part. We've learned a lot about when we can use Ember Drain and when we can't use Ember Drain with this deck. I thought it was a little easier, but oof. Engine Upgrade is actually really good here, though. So is Grovel. We have so much extra draw that I think the Engine Upgrade is actually necessary, though. Gives us a little bit of extra energy to match it. Don't need any of those. Okay, we have a decent amount of money. We should probably go to a magic shop to decrease the cost of some of our cards. No such luck. Honestly, I don't really have minion upgrades I want to do right now, and I do have removals I want to do. We need summon the first morsel unit in a turn, draw one, great. Just an extra card every single turn. Cut the final remaining 2 train stewards, and then we can have a look at what this offers. Concealed caverns, have something good. Ooh! Minor refraction on the Overgorger, so that's only 1 cost in size. I love that. We should now have the ability to dupe them a bunch of times and just put them on the same floor. Although they'll also need a tank. I mean, right now, it's just a good backliner behind a Penumbra or a Shadoweater, I guess, even. Everything having 15 is really rough here. We don't have much. We don't have 15 sweep. So I can't do that. Ouch. No Overgorger in the first cycle? Yeah, it sucks, but no Overgorger. So, no Shadoweater in the first cycle. Sucks, but I think that's how we have to go. Give me the money. I'm gonna go Space Prism here as well. There's the Sharpen. The Sharpen I actually think kills me right now. 2, 4, 6, 8, and then 14. Yeah, I die to it. We don't have enough health to keep the top line Overgorger seriously consistently healthy, do we? Not really, but I have to do something. Magma into a Counterblight. God, I wish I really could play the engine upgrade there. I think our only really viable option here is just heavily play into gorging on the top floor. Another Shade Split, and then throw everything on the top floor. Or, no, we definitely throw Rubble Morsel down on the bottom line. There we go. Easy. Even take the extra energy there. Okay, I'm not far from using the Furnace Tap right now as well. I could be pretty easily convinced. Expensive Shade Splitter, pop that down, use this for the kill. And then just more and more shades, please. Yeah. The penumbra is not really part of this game plan at all. It's just the Overgorger on the top floor, thank you. That'll get us the kills so that we can start popping some extra morsels on the top. Oh, there's the furnace tap. Yeah, I think it's time for the furnace tap now. Oops. I should have emptied out my hand a little bit more. Would have just given me one more choice. Alright. Unfortunately, this enemy does have sweep. So I don't think there are any morsels I can play that will actually get eaten, so I'm just going to let the fight end then. Didn't take any damage there, thankfully. Void Binding, Ember Cache, Cave In, no. Also no. That's really annoying. We're missing out on a lot of the really good expensive cards that we could pick up. I still need spell cost degrades. Decreases, rather. Yeah. So Permafrost on the Furnace tap is just setting up for the end. Decrease the cost of engine upgrade, because it's really important that we can play that. Holdover. I like a good holdover on a Cannibalize. It's just not always that easy to trigger. Holdover on Mind Collapse is actually pretty good. That's 2 extra energy for... Yeah, holdover on Mind Collapse. So this is 10 damage with 0 energy, and it gives me 2 energy back if it kills anything, and it gives me 2 morsels if it kills anything. So this is really, really good for taking out... the Cannibalizer should be a little cheaper as well. It'd be really good for taking out like Purifiers and Absolvers and things like that. Hey, speaking of Purifiers and Absolvers, Scourge Givers, here's Fel, the Scourge Giver. Do we set up everything in the same way? I think we do. 1, 2, 3, and then we use the Mind Collapse to take out you. Shade Split to get another morsel. Sure, you can go for the damage one. Sucks to miss out on the Cannibalize, but that's okay. And then excess goes on this floor. Yeah, the Penumbra is really not our target anymore. Oh, God. Look at this awful hand. Take a Shade Splitter and play that on the top floor. Mind Collapse you to get 2 more things to play. 2 more things to play? No, 1 more thing has to be on the bottom floor so that they can kill the other Absolver. Okay. Engine upgrade on the bottom floor, definitely, because we don't actually ever put 3 things down there. Pop out the Shade Splitter, use the Mind Collapse for the kill, and then we can cannibalize one of these. I'll probably cannibalize a Magma Morsel if I had to guess. Pop Sharpen on this line just to make life a little easier. Great. So health goes down on the bottom line, and then everything else goes on the top. I think we're definitely getting towards the point that we just dupe the Overgorger and don't really worry about anything else now. Wait, that's not our base deck Overgorger, right? No, that's what it currently is on the board, and it's got a bunch of different morsel buffs. So we'll have to wait a while to see what it actually has. So go space for the top floor. Doesn't seem like it's necessary, but okay. Awesome. Nothing left to do with the rest of these. I love that I can pretty much burn out the penance immediately every turn and totally be fine with it. It's not always super common. Let's burn a... Should I burn a rubble morsel or burn the penumbra? I'm gonna burn the penumbra. Didn't leave myself enough space in hand. Ryan! Keep making that same mistake right there. Don't like it. Okay, there's enough sharpen that I don't have to worry about the absolvers on the bottom floor anymore. Let's go. Rubble. Cannibalize, then we can use the collapse just to get even more of these. So health, damage, shield, damage, and bottom line, you can get a little bit of energy. Come on, Fel. It's gotta be time to fight us, right? Gotta play out some garbage there so that I can then have enough space in hand to do this, as well as, I guess, I could give you the health. No, I'm not giving you the health on the bottom line. Yeah, that definitely should have been destroying the magma morsel rather than the Umbra there as well. The health of the top liner is my big concern. Because it's only alive for 3 rounds of combat against Fel right now. Unless it starts getting some more life steal and damage shield. Okay, that's a good one to cannibalize. Life steal, damage shield, please. No, just a little bit of extra health. We've got Furnace Tap this turn, though. Which should be more than enough. Let's go Magma Morsel with the Cannibalize. Getting only 1 card because I didn't empty out my hand. Really, I gotta learn a lesson from this eventually. Good work, you tiny little Overgorger. Shroud Mitosis is really good, but Cycle of Life is incredible with the volatile gauge. Great setup for the bottom liner. I kind of like extra energy here. We could go for extra draw, but we are kind of like almost overdrawing every single turn. And I can't just cost reduce every spell in the deck, so let's at least get a little extra energy. Double remove dupe, as well as concealed caverns could even be another upgrade on it. God, if that's the Heartstone upgrade, I'm gonna be so happy. Heartstone, Heartstone, Heartstone. Purge a card and gain a card. I can do that. Probably one of the restores. Rare Umbra, Rare Awoken. Rare Umbra includes some very expensive cards. That's not a very expensive card, but it is quite good. Happy to have it. Obviously, I was thinking of like a Shadow Siege or something right there. Perils of Production is also pretty bad because I can't cost reduce it or anything like that. Let's get another Overgorger for the top line. I can even just put an Overgorger behind the... where are you? Behind the Shadoweater on the bottom line and be fine. The Shadoweater on the bottom line, in that case, will need extra HP. Am I ever gorging the Glutton? I don't know. It really depends on whether or not I find something like Gem Trove. Specifically, Gem Trove would be a good example of something like Gem Trove that I'd like to find. I'll take the 400 gold here. Worst case scenario, it costs us a bunch of damage to the pyre. It shouldn't make us lose, though. Lifesteal's real good. Oh, Shadoweater, damn it. Because the Shadoweater needs to go on the bottom line now that I have it. Let's sack the Penumbra, honestly. Okay. We're very, very close to leveling out. I'll tell you that right now. If we play this turn well, we should be fine for the rest of the game, basically. I've got a lot of options in hand. It's going to take me a moment here. I think the Overgorger probably goes on the top line rather than on the bottom. But then not being able to heal up. Well, the Shadoweater can't even be healed up that well anyway, right? Yeah, Space Prism's still in the deck, but I would have to play it on the bottom floor to actually get good capacity there. Because it is my capacity gimped floor. Five, 20, another 20 there. So if we put the Overgorger in the front line, attack, 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 then I attack back 2 times, so this takes 30 damage as well. And then, you know, I take another 20 damage to my pyre, but I'm not so worried about that. I really do want the Overgorger on the bottom line, though. It's just I worry about how to keep the Shadoweater alive while that happens, right? Because this is 30 incoming, and then I guess if the Overgorger is on the bottom line, 35. Right. 15, and then 20, so 25 from that, so 36 total. I could go Cycle of Life, Shade Splitter, use the Mind Collapse for a kill of the Wiltwing, saving us a bunch of HP there. Then pop the Overgorger down. But then I'm letting, like, this whole line through, and that's really dangerous. God, this turn is so complex. Because obviously we can also use any of these for chump blockers, but we need space to do so. Don't like this midline. Maybe it's Overgorger in the mid. Yeah, it kills... Well, it doesn't kill the Winged Conduit in the back line. It kills a lot. I like that, actually. I like it a lot. Summon that back. I could use this for the kill here in order to take less damage. As well as add 2 morsels to our hand, I guess. I'll probably end up just chump blocking on the top floor with morsels. Probably the least useful morsel to have right now is that one, so I'll cannibalize it, and I'll probably... Handful! Riot! Both of those happily for that floor. There's a lifesteal one. Lifesteal is great. We'll cannibalize the magma again, though. Okay. I think this sets us up the best we can be for the upcoming turns. Shade Splitter give us Rubble Morsel. So we can get a lot out of the Shroud Spike. A lot of energy, that is, but nothing really good. Probably engine upgrade the mid line. I mean, I have lifesteal, so I don't need to kill those on the top line. Actually, better off not doing it. Let's go for that kill, and then there as well. More lifesteal? I like more lifesteal. We'll gorge for 4 lifesteal though. Alright. The... extra capacity does feel like a bottom floor kind of thing. We're no longer really building the Overgorgers. They are built. Now we just utilize them. And more lifesteal and health on the midline. The big downside to all of this is that the Overgorgers are not going to stand up to many hits by the boss. But the boss is the wall, isn't it? So the single large chunks of damage is the way to kill the wall. So never mind, it'll actually be totally fine. Okay. Had to just quickly make sure that I wasn't going to overfill my hand there. Great, the backline of dice here. Give you some more spikes if you're going to have any spikes at all. Lifesteal's a huge pickup. Can I find... yep. Rubble Morsels so that I can cannibalize it. We did actually have enough space in hand, which I was actually watching as well. We'll probably throw out the first Furnace Tap next turn. And the only Furnace Tap as well. Oh, hell yeah. Hang on. It's a Rubble Morsel, and then eat that. For just a couple more upgrades. Nice. You did a 21 to me, and then I'm just going to completely remove your existence with a chomp right there. Kindle, Grovel, Ember Forge. We have a couple X-Cos cards in the deck, but only one of them really matters as being an X-Cos card. The Mind Collapses don't. Could I take an Ember Forge? What if I just gave the Ember Forge a bunch of health? Focus Growth isn't actually that bad here either. Sure. Because what if I just give the Ember Forge a bunch of health and put it in front of an Overgorger? I can do that now. I also have to go to the Merchant of Steel for minion upgrades. Also, like, dupe and the double removal are on the same side. Hell yes. Look at the Merchant Trinkets first. None of those. I'll reroll. None of those as well. Great, thanks. Saves me the ability to do more stuff like this. Shadoweater oneself. Sure. I can large stone an Emberforge. I can large stone a Shadoweater though. Yeah, that looks good. Damage shield to an Emberforge. Also give you plus 10 damage. Purge some cards from the deck. Get the garbage restores out of there. Duping. Duping is probably just another Overgorger, right? And then another double removal will get a restore, and the unupgraded Mind Collapse out of the deck. Yeah. Yep. Yep. So that was the Foley for the morsels. Seraph will remove half of any of buff and debuff effect stacks. A little unfortunate, but as long as we manage to get set up behind some tanks, we should be okay. Set you up on the top floor, you there, and then we'll go for a Mind Collapse for the kill. Should I pop a Sharpen out here? Means the Shadoweater kills Lightwings instantly. I mean, unless the Seraph the Chase comes down to the bottom floor, which it could. Eh, that's okay, I think. Ooh, haha, frozen in hand at exactly the right cost. Great. I guess these don't get much larger with the Gorges anymore, so anything that doesn't give health, lifesteal, or divine shields, I think just goes onto the Penumbra in the middle floor now. We'll actually be buffing the Penumbra again. There's the Emberforge for the defense. Another Overgorger? God, that top floor is wild. Okay, what can we do on these bottom floors, though? 1, 2. Go for the kill, and then... Gosh. I don't even have space to play all my stuff. I really need to get extra capacity for this bottom floor. Speaking of. Guess I'll Mind Collapse. Is that good enough? 4 copies of +3 health. As well as of +4 for the Gorge. Yeah, I'll do that. Sure. Oh, God, the engine upgrade. That'll go on the top floor. It's fine. God, we have so much energy generation per turn. We can't play the Shroud Spike. We're about to shuffle back into the deck. We probably even draw it next turn. And we're generating 7 energy next. I can't play that now. It's so much more impactful. Right now. Please draw it. Did not manage to. That's fine. We have another play that could draw it. Shade into Rubble. God, I really don't want to draw it from that. Never mind, I did. Okay. I think I Furnace Tap. I legitimately think I Furnace Tap here. Get some space in my hand. Let's use a Focus Growth. Then I can cannibalize you, trying to find something incredible. I mean, look, Lifesteal is good enough. Put those down there, and then Shroud Spike for a giant Lifesteal, I think. Pretty big unit after all of that. Resolves, and Lifesteal. You have the ability to put a little bit of health on the bottom line, although it dies immediately. The pyre. Wait, what? No, it doesn't. I'm actually gonna. I'll give it the health and the thorns there. Gets eaten at the end of the turn anyway. Nothing else I can do but Mind Collapse. No, Mind Collapse on the top floor. Keep you more healthy. Awesome. Oh, what a hungry deck this was. Just full of hungry, hungry boys. The Mind Collapse as well is working so well with the Volatile Gauge. Also, 7 energy a turn is nothing to really turn your nose down at. You certainly should have turned your nose up at it. Yeah, I don't want to put a bunch of morsels into my deck that I now have to draw into with randomized costs. So I'll just settle for the ones that I have. Magma Morsel is probably the worst. Steal, damage shield, give you that, and then extra health on the bottom line, because honestly we really shouldn't need any other lines to kill this boss. We don't. Okay, I think this is the first time that I've adequately transitioned out of the growth phase of the Overgorger. I feel like in all of my other Overgorger runs, I've constantly had the idea, even in the final fight, that I need to be building them as much as possible. But what am I building them for in the final fight, right? So at that point, also past a certain amount of damage on a character, it doesn't need any more damage. It then just becomes about, can this survive? And how many of them can I play? I think I've just managed to hit that transition well. Making the mini was so good as well. Pyre takes another 20 damage at the start of the run, so we will start the run with 40 health on our Pyre. Really rough. I'm probably going to have to reevaluate the way that I approach losing health for the sake of picking up money. Because health is a much more precious resource when you have, 40 rather than 80, or rather than 60 as the case may be for our specific level already. All right, let's go to that run summary. Holds up that screen so they can say that my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Monster Train. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves. There's a playlist in the description down below with all my content on the game, past, present, and future. And hopefully we'll see you next time.